Video is to show you from start to finish exactly what I want you to do today in class. I've shown you some of this stuff already, and you've also watched some videos in Lightroom possibly on how to do this already, but I figured it would be better if I showed you really simply from start to finish what I would like you to do today. So here we go. We're going to go up to our Lightroom Classic app. You can also find it on your dock as well. I'm going to open that up. Here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is import some photos that are on our desktop. Now this is where your memory card is going to show up on your desktop, so this is typically the path that you're going to take to find them. So the first thing you want to do is click on Import, and you'll notice that the menus will change on either side. Very quick summary of how this functions, right? It's a path. On the left here, you select your source. This is where the photos come from. Then we travel across the screen here and we choose the type of copy we want. I would like you to always choose copy. And then we tell it where to go. So it goes from here to here. So we always click, you can click on this, and then you can have a screen that will actually show you where to go. Like if you wanted to choose your desktop, that's fine. Okay. And then these are all the ways in which you would label your photos when you are importing them. Now the whole purpose and the main reason why we use Lightroom is to organize our photos. If we skip these steps, then this is a totally useless process, right? Because you could open up your photos in your memory card and look at them that way on your desktop, but that's not efficient, and over time when you accumulate thousands of photos, this is going to be a really easy way to keep them organized, and this is one of the things that I'm going to require you to do in this class, is to understand this. So we have all of these different areas here to do that, and I will go over them when we do our import. So I've asked it to import, and now I need to choose where my photos are coming from. I'm going to choose photos that are in this folder here. I'm going to be importing these Renaissance portraits. Now if you open up your photos and you notice that some of them are bright and some of them are faded, the faded ones are already in your Lightroom. They're faded because you can't import them again because they're already in there. Now at some point you've told this, or it's automatically choosing to not import duplicates, which is a very good thing for you. So if you see this, that is why that's happening. So if you want to import all photos, just make sure that the all photos is clicked, and you can see that they're checked and also grayed. Now if you don't want to import all of them, you unclick all photos, and then you can choose which ones you want to import. So I might choose this one, and I might hold down the Command key and choose a few more. Now this is the catch. They're not really selected until you click the box, and then you'll see that they all are checked. But I want to select all, so I'm going to click all photos, and then I'm going to tell it what type of copy I want it to be made of. So I'm just going to click copy, and then I'm not going to waste my time going over these again. Just click copy, that's the one you want. And then we're going to tell it to go to our desktop here. So we can click down destination, or we can click up here and tell it to go in certain areas. So I always click desktop because I like to find it and put it somewhere. File handling. So here, don't import suspected duplicates. That's checked, and so we know that's never going to happen. That's a good thing. We can add it to a collection over here, but that's not what I want you to do today, because I'm going to teach you how to make a collection. So just make sure that don't import selected duplicates is here. Now we're going to contract that and expand file renaming. I like to choose custom name sequence, and then that gives me the opportunity to rename these. Now I'm going to rename these Renaissance portraits. I want to keep all my names the same. And when you choose this name, this is very important in terms of organizing. Don't just type, oh, photos, pics, random photos. That's not going to help you find them later. You need to start identifying what these photos are. These are my Renaissance portraits, so I want to call them that. Leave the file extension as is. Right now they're PNGs because I screenshotted them off of the internet, but I'm going to leave that as. Yours are either going to be NEF raw files or JPEGs, and that's fine. Contract that. You can skip this one, apply during import, not important now, and then you need to choose where it's going to go. So destination, it's going to automatically either be put by original folders or by date. You don't really want to do that unless you want to keep track of your dates. I like to just do into one folder because then it's easy to find it. And then you want to tell it where to go. So I'm just going to tell it to go to the desktop so I can find it easily. Now this is something that might catch you up. If you click done here, you might think that that's going to import, but it's not. It's going to erase everything you did, and you're going to have to kind of start over. Not necessarily erase, all these things will still be here, but it will not import. You have to click import. So let's watch what happens over here. All of a sudden, we're importing our photos, and there should be a folder on the desktop that is importing your photos as well, so you'll have a copy of that. I'm not going to waste my time and show you, but that should be the case. Okay, so now we have these photos and we know they're imported when we see that gray box around them and we see these gray numbers. That's an indication that your photos have imported into Lightroom. Okay, so now we're going to go over here and we're going to learn how to make some collections. I'm still in the library module up here. And now I want to show you a few things here. Folders. Your folders are where your photos have been saved. So right now you'll see on the desktop, I have these photos, I have these, and I have some Renaissance portraits also. This is from a previous upload. These are not the ones I just did. Okay, so those are on my desktop. They're also imported into Lightroom. But you're not going to organize in your folders. You're going to organize your pictures in your collections. So how do we make a collection? To make a collection, the first thing you want to do is learn what these little symbols mean. This little file box represents something called a collection set. So for example, if I wanted to have all of my Renaissance portraits in one collection set, I would make that folder. And then within that collection set, I could make interior collections where I can categorize different types of Renaissance portraits. So for example, if I wanted to put all of the Leonardo da Vinci portraits into one folder, I could do that. Or if I wanted to put all of the women in one folder, I could do that. Or if I wanted to put all of the Botticellis in one folder, I could do that. Or if I'm making edits to photos, which I'm going to show you in a minute, I can also put maybe my edits in one folder. It's really up to you, but just know that the more you organize, the easier it will be to find these in the future. So this is a collection set and this is a collection. Smart collections, when you upload all your photos, Lightroom will categorize them into what they call smart collections, which is kind of fun. So, or if you start starring or rating your photos, they'll put them in there. If you've uploaded something in the past month, it's going to put it in there. Recently modified, put it in there. So these are smart collections created by Lightroom. So if you're ever like, where'd my photos go? You can always go to Smart Collections and find recently uploaded or past month. That's where you would look. But I'm going to contract that for a minute. And now we're just going to focus on the photos that are in my Renaissance portrait folder. Okay, so how do I make a collection set and how do I make a collection? Well, the plus sign over here, the first thing you want to do is make a collection set. So I'm going to make a new one. Let's say Ren Ports New. So maybe I want all of the new ones I've found to be in a separate collection set than the one I just made. So I'm going to make that, and all of a sudden we're going to see that new up and see this is the trick. I messed up on this here. Let me go back and I'll show you how to fix it. So my collection set accidentally ended up in my All Renaissance, which I don't really want that because then we have way too many internal sets. So how do I get rid of that? I hold down Option and I click. Sorry, I hold down Control and I click, and then I just delete. Okay, so I don't want that there. So I'm going to go out of this and make sure that I am maybe up here in a neutral spot, and then I'm going to create a collection set. Ren Port New. Now maybe let's rethink that for a minute. Renaissance Portraits New, because maybe in 6 months I will have no idea what Renport means. Okay, so I'm gonna make a new one. Why won't that go in its own spot? Let me see. This is something I have not encountered yet, so I'm trying to figure out. Maybe I need to make the collection first. Okay, let's experiment with this. So let's just make a collection. So say that we want to make women Renaissance women portraits. Okay. Oh, this is why it did that, because I've got this clicked inside a collection set. No, thank you. Include selected photos. Yes. Okay, so let's cancel and go back. I figured it out. So now we're going to go back to making a collection set. So create a collection set. We're not going to put it in all Renaissance. We're going to make our own Renaissance portraits new. It's good to watch me stumble a little bit sometimes because it helps you learn too. Okay, so now I've got Renaissance portraits new. Now it's its own collection set. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a collection. And I'm going to put it inside that collection set. So create collection, and we're going to go women portraits Renaissance. And then I'm going to put it inside the new collection set. So now when I click on this, I've got a subfolder of women portraits. Cool. So now we're going to go back to my folder, and we're going to find the folder that I uploaded all of these portraits in. This one. Okay, so now I'm going to say these are all my new portraits. And I want to grab this and scroll all the way to the bottom and hold Shift, grab those, and you just click and you drag. Hang on one sec. Let's open it so I know where I'm dragging it to. Drag it to Renaissance Portraits New. Let's just try 2 of them and see why that's being stubborn. There we go. So I dropped them in women portraits, even though that's not a woman there. So let's try to grab all the women here. So, and you know, I'm just being kind of old school with this, but Command, and then I'm just going to go around and click and find the women that I can find. Those are not Renaissance, that's David Park. Okay, and then I'm going to grab those and I'm going to drag them right in there, and it's going to highlight blue, and you're going to see that number increase. So now I have, when I click on this one, I just have the women, and then this one has all of them in there. Okay, so that is what I would like to see you do, and you're going to be taking screenshots. So your assignment is to first do the upload. So you're going to do the upload, and you're going to show me in your folder that you have that. So you're going to take a screenshot of this. So to take a screenshot, you would hold Shift Command and hit the number 4, and maybe that's different on your computers, but I don't think so. Try to capture your name up here so I can identify that this is yours, and just take a screenshot of it. It's going to show up on your desktop. All right, and then once you make a collection set and a collection, I'd like you to take a little screenshot of that. Get your name in there too, and just do that so that I know that you've created this. And you might even want to open that up. Here, let's try that again. Open your collection up in your collection set, and then take a screenshot of that whole thing so I could see your collection and your labels over here. So now we have proof that we know how to import photos, we know how to create a collection set and an interior collection. So now how do we export? Oh, I skipped a step. I would like you to edit one photo in Lightroom. So we cannot edit in library mode module. We have to edit in develop module. So we can go back and we can choose a photo that we want to edit. I want to edit, I'm going to edit Mona Lisa here, but I'm going to make her look all vintage and scary because Halloween's coming up. So I'm going to go to the develop module, and you can just keep it real basic here. Just use the basic unless you want to kind of have fun, experiment, but keep track of your time. So at first I'm going to go to basic, which are basic. I mean, you guys see these toggles in every filter app you have, so you know them well. So I'm going to kind of make her look a little bit spookier. Maybe I'll underexpose her a little bit, bring up the highlights, maybe drop the shadows in there, maybe bump the texture up so she's a little grittier, maybe bump the clarity up so she gets super gritty, give her a little haze, maybe drop the saturation down a little bit so she looks a little more vintage. Another fun one to play with is effects. So you could go into effects and like make her even grainier, make the size of the grain bigger, smaller, rough it up. You can give her a vignette, which would make her look really vintage. So mess around with those, have fun. Okay, so that's all you would have to do. You don't need to hit reset, or it's going to reset everything. Yeah. So I guess we can copy this if we want to, but all you have to do is go back to the library and you'll see that that edited version is right here. So I'm going to take that one and I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to click on that, and then I want to take, let's go back to it here. And I want you to take a screenshot of this, that you edited this, use your name in the screenshot, and you edited this in Lightroom, and it's a different version than the original, which I guess you could take a screenshot of the original too just to prove it, but I'm going to trust that you did that. All right, so now I want you to export this and put it in Photoshop and resize it. So this is a lot. I know it's a lot, but let's see if we can do it. Hard drive, you're sending it to the hard drive onto your desktop. You can rename it if you want to. I can call it Older Mona. Custom name, I call it Older Mona, and export. Okay, so that should export it onto my desktop. Give it a sec. There she is, Older Mona. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this. And here's a shortcut for Photoshop. You can just grab that photo and drag it right onto your dock into Photoshop, and it will open up in Photoshop. So let's give Photoshop a second to open up. And here we have Older Mona. Now I haven't taught you how to use Photoshop at all. We will get into that. But just a quick little tutorial on, if you wanted to mess with her a little bit more, you could. But if you're short on time, I just want to show you how to resize it so that you can post it on Schoology. So quick little tutorial on how to edit in Photoshop. I like to make a duplicate layer, and I just name it background copy so that this is always stays the same, and I can edit on the background copy. I might want to make some adjustments just for fun. I could mess with the brightness. I already kind of did this in Lightroom, but play around with it a little bit. I'll go over all of these layers and what these all do and mean and how to keep organized later. But just play with it, have fun, no pressure. If you notice, every time I click on an adjustment layer, it makes a new layer up here. So that's something you'll learn as you're working. Maybe we can make her more sepia toned. There we go, perfect. Okay, so that's enough. Now what I really wanted to teach you is how to change the size of this image so that you can actually upload it onto your Schoology. Now go to image size. Height and width need to be locked so the aspect ratio stays the same. So if you change one, the other one changes. This is a screenshot, so it's already super tiny. I can even make the resolution smaller, 175. And then I hit OK. So that's a pretty small image. And now I want to save it. So File, Save As, and save to your computer. So PSD is a Photoshop file. A Photoshop file is not going to upload on Schoology. So you need to change it to a JPEG. That's curious. Why it won't let me change to a JPEG? Why? Maybe I just change that. Document format. That's super weird. It usually has all the options. Not sure what the deal is. So you should have all the options with your photos. This is a weird screenshot, so that's probably why. Save a copy. There we go. Save a copy. That's what I needed to do. So now I go save a copy and keep the color profile the same, RGB. Make sure that's clicked and then just hit OK there. And now we have it on our desktop. So what am I turning in for this assignment? You're turning in your screenshot of your import. You're turning in your screenshot of your collection set and your collection. You're turning in a screenshot of your edited Lightroom image and a screenshot of your photo shop image. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know it's a lot. You have today and you have Friday to work on this, and I will help you every step of the way. Take a deep breath. This will be like super easy after you get through it the first or second time. All right, thanks.